Today, when is non-news news? Only Valve knows for sure. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. I'm Graham Stark.
And I'm Kathleen DeVere, and we're cruising our way through the pre-E3 news doldrums.
In hindsight, maybe not the best time to launch a gaming news show. Sir Howard Stringer, CEO of Sony, rebuffed public outcry that they delayed a full week before informing the public of the PSN breach by saying most breaches go unreported by companies. 43% of companies warn victims within a month. We reported in a week. Are you saying my week wasn't fast enough? Yes, we are. Also, how do you know if these other companies don't report their breaches if they don't report... You know what? I don't even think you are a knight.
Game designer American McGee, best known for making Alice in Wonderland all weird and creepy before it was cool, Mr. Burton, is forging a collaboration between his Shanghai game studio Spicy Horse, I'll repeat that one more time, between Spicy Horse and PopCap to develop new social games. We're expecting American McGee's Bookworm Adventures to launch next year.
The Ubisoft movie division, or Mubisoft as we call it, is pressing forward with their plan to dominate video game movies with projects based on Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon, and Splinter Cell. They say that they're working very closely with the creators of the games to make sure the films are true to the source material, which one would hope considering they are the creators of the games. Also, taking into account that the video game movie market is basically Uwe Boll, dominating that market is going to be easier and cheaper than actually making a video game.
Big news from Activision this week is Modern Warfare 3 was leaked on Friday. Where are you going?
Must torrent.
What? No, the game wasn't leaked.
What?
No, it was just the announcement that leaked.
Oh, wait. You're telling me that there's going to be a third Modern Warfare game? Stop the goddamn presses. I am agog with shock.
There was also some art assets released.
Where they have a guy with a gun?
Yes.
Wow.
Super NES classic Chrono Trigger has finally been released for Wii's Virtual Console, so now nobody cares what's coming out for the Virtual Console. It was basically the only thing people were waiting for, so we can probably just rename it the Virtual Chrono Trigger service and pack it up.
In surprising E3 news, Valve Software has announced that they will not have a real presence at this year's expo. What does this lack of news really mean? Paul and Jeremy have their own thoughts. Paul?
Thanks, Graham. Imagine you are Valve. You go to E3, set up a booth, and spend 4 days telling people, no, we have no news about Episode 3. You hire booth babes dressed as a lack of Episode 3 news, which is a very hard concept to visualize. You have to hire new PR people every day, as the previous ones keep committing murder-suicides out of aggravation. It's just an expense they don't need.
Or is it? Is this a sign of things to come, or are they just done? The only game they've announced on the horizon is Dota 2, and after Half-Life 2 and Portal 2 and Left 4 Dead 2, where do they go from there? Steam 2? No, I think they're done, going out on top, retiring champions, and thereby making their lack of E3 news the biggest announcement in the history of Valve.
You really think it would be better to lay off everyone at the company than have to answer questions about Episode 3 all week? Wait, don't answer that. Regardless, also consider that by not going to E3, they're avoiding an entire week spent in Los Angeles, a value that cannot be undersold.
Okay, well if they're not following the smart money and closing their doors as soon as Dota 2 is on the market, then the only other explanation is that there's some sort of alternate reality game. Valve will be there, but disguised as swag bags, and I for one can't wait. Look for me at E3 conducting further investigation of said swag bags by thoroughly undermining my journalistic integrity. Back to you, Graham.
And so what is certain is that no news is no news.
Or is it news?
Thank you, Jeremy. And thank you, Paul. And thank you, Kathleen.
Why? What did I do?
I don't know, I'm just being polite.
Coming up, THQ proclaims themselves one of the big gaming publishers, which is just so adorable.